So now the recording is started. Now can you repeat whatever you have discussed with Oracle today?
Sure. So I was going to go over, what I was going to go over was the algorithms, service mappings, matrices, what all these constitute of in Oracle pricing. Basically, we had qualifiers and modifiers in EBS. That's kind of out of the window. And what we have today is these three major, imagine as three different blocks. One is service mapping, one is algorithm, one is matrix. And it's very powerful, very, very powerful, because it can, you know, if anybody's in this, your students in this batch are coming from a technical background, it'll be easy for them to get up to speed. Especially if there's any object-oriented programming background, any knowledge about data objects, that would be really helpful for pricing. I would say that it's not a functional task like how qualifiers and modifiers used to be. It does involve quite a bit of programming, quite a bit of back and forth with Oracle. And the good news is Oracle's pricing team is really, really good. They are willing to help new clients, new customers. And that's how I got whatever knowledge that I have right now is through Oracle's service engineers. Like I said before, there are service parameters, mappings, and I'll show them. And Nana, I didn't get a chance to log in into the system that you gave me.
Yeah, you can log in at any time. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going
to share the screen at the bottom, and then you can log in with the credentials.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking I was sharing my screen. Sorry. Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, I'm able to see the screen now. You can even put cm00.instructor.
Okay, I think I have it in my email somewhere. So let me, and again, so here's another thing, guys. If anybody's trying to do whatever I'm showing you in a demo instance, if you're not sure of what you're going to do, especially with algorithms, you can create all kinds of strategies. You can create all kinds of different stuff. But be careful when you're creating algorithms, because it will bomb out the entire system. Because algorithms are not to a specific business unit, or not specific to a certain ledger, or to a certain inventory org. It is kind of a global. So any changes you make will affect everybody else who's using the system. I learned the hard way by bringing the system down, and Oracle just kicked me out of the demo instance when I was playing with it last year. So just a thought, food for thought. So let me try to log in into Nana's.
Yeah, exactly.
So Nana, I'm pretty sure you've covered the strategy and
yeah, those things I have covered. The basic ones I have covered. You can even save it.
So one of the first things that a common requirement that would come to your mind would be, let me minimize this. So let me go over here. Sorry, I'm playing with this. So if I go to manage pricing strategy assignments, one of the common requirements that I've seen is pricing, the ability to command the pricing strategy based on a business unit, right? Over here, we have the business unit. Let's say I want to create an order. Let me duplicate the screen. And one of the things is, hey, I want to drive the pricing based on the order type, like how it used to be in EBS. If you're more comfortable and if you want to bring the same kind of methodology over here, or you want to drive the pricing based on the customer, you set up a list of values and you set up a list of a customer party level or a customer account level price list, and you want to bring that price list into Oracle, you can do that. And I'll show you some examples. And I won't go and create any algorithm changes, but I will show you how to change it, but I'm not going to do any algorithm changes for now. So for example, let's say one of the common requirements is, hey, I want to drive by order type. Or let's say I want to add a EFF, a flux field, let's say.
You can use US1 business unit.
Okay. Let's say I want to add a flex field, and then I want to drive based on, let's say, loyalty status. I want to drive my pricing using one of these attributes. I can do that. So how would you set up those kind of stuff is where what we're going to look today. Again, this being a demo instance, those kind of customizations can be only done in a sandbox, especially the managed service mappings. That's the only thing that can be done in a sandbox. Algorithms you can do without a sandbox. So I don't know if it would let me create service mappings, but service mappings has three main subcategories. You have the entity, then you have the source, and then you have the services. Think about entity, like if you add a flex field on your header or on your order line level, and you want your pricing algorithm to recognize that, you want to add that as an entity. So let's say this material transfer is for material transfer pricing. This is, we're purely looking in order management side. And you can notice here that it says, you must use a sandbox to edit the service mapping. So we're not going to go ahead and do any service mapping changes. But if you want to make any changes, you have to go spin a sandbox. And this is how you would spin a sandbox. And then in the sandbox, let me just actually show you. I don't know if you can spin a sandbox because there might be too many sandboxes already in the Vision instance. Let's see if this is a new instance. They might have one or two that's available. I think the maximum is 10. The number of sandboxes you can do for per instance is 10. Usually the Vision instance is completely booked with sandboxes. So let's see if there is any availability space to create a sandbox. Looks like there is. I'm going to try to create a sandbox. And here, these are the different things. These are the one. Okay, so this is something important. So application composer, anything that you want to change in a page or anything like that, you have to spin up a sandbox. Similarly, managed service mappings, I'm going to say pricing demo. Since we're going to be using it for pricing demo, publishable is yes or no, meaning that if you want to move whatever changes you're making in service mapping, if you want to promote that into the instance that you're working in, not necessarily, it's inside the same instance. You make it as yes and create and enter. Now, once you create and enter, you will be actually be able to make changes or bring in services or create new entities, and pardon me, create new entities inside the service mapping, okay? Looks like Oracle is not letting us do that, so I'm not going to go ahead and play with that because we have we don't have the time right now to do it. But I'll be more than happy if Nana wants me to go through an entire exercise of creating from scratch. But what I want to show you in this is the abilities that Oracle can do today. Okay, so coming back to what we were discussing, looks like we can't create the sandbox, and I'm not going to go and play around why we can't create the sandbox. Maybe they blocked it off, I don't know. So sales is the pricing is the owner. And once you go into sales, that's where you would see all the entities and the sources and services. I'll show that in a little bit if it ever opens up. It's like it's very slow, Nana.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't even open actually.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay. Regardless, so that's what service mapping does. Imagine service mapping is the heart of a pricing engine.
Oh.
That's where all the logic lies. If you want to add something to your, let's say if you want to add like the purchase order number to your, like the PO number field to the strategy assignments, and say if PO number is 1, then give me this strategy. If PO number is 2, then give me, just like how you base it off of a business unit, that's where you would come and add in the service mappings, you would come and add that, okay?
The sales is not opening actually. It doesn't matter. You can go to the next topic as it's. So you can tell us.
Okay. So let me bring up a little document here to explain this better.
Yeah.
And this is a document. and it is available on support.oracle.com. Actually, you don't even have to have support.oracle.com. You just go to Customer Connect, and Customer Connect is another major thing, guys. I wasn't really paying attention to how much Customer Connect is useful until I found out a lot of white papers in the Customer Connect. You don't have to have a CSI number to go and get and open a ticket. You can just find out what are the different types of, they even have recordings in there, training recordings like piecemeal types of trainings and piecemeal type of documentations that you can put together using filters in Customer Connect, and you can get all this. So this was one of the things that I got from Customer Connect. It's customerconnect.oracle.com, I believe. So like I mentioned, so let's keep skipping. These are, this was a sales order demo that they were trying to do. Where I want to go is, if you see here, guys, these are the major pricing algorithms, okay? Calculate sales order totals. That's the sales order total that you would see usually when you're trying to, okay, oh God, it actually created a demo. So let me leave the sandbox. Maybe that's why it was taking time, Nana.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
So I don't know if it's visible, but let me try to zoom
Yeah,
it
it's
in.
visible. It's visible.
Okay. So a pricing engine has like 5 major type of algorithms. Okay. These are the five. You can't do anything more than this. If you want to make customize or make your algorithm, make your price engine to qualify or modify something, you have to use one of these algorithms that's pre-built already. It will always have a version of 0 or 1. 0 or 1 means, I'll show that in a bit once we have the system up and running. Okay, looks like it is up and running. So let me go back into order management and pricing administration. And let me go to manage algorithms. So if let's say if I want to query and all these, so in my previous slide, I showed you 5 different algorithms, and here there's hundreds of algorithms. Why is that? Each of this algorithm is a separate block. It's an independent block, but it is all called in one of these 5 algorithms at one point of time, and I'll show you in a little bit. So let's say price sales transactions. This is the primary algorithm, and which gets called whenever whenever a line is entered, whenever a reprice of the order happens, whenever you save the order, or whenever you submit the order. These are the events that trigger this pricing sales algorithm, which translates to price sales transactions internally. And then if you look at these, I'll go into the algorithm to show you in more detail of what all it does and how you can call another algorithm based on that. But before that, I will create a simple algorithm to show you how algorithms work. If you want to play more about pricing, if you want to know more about this pricing algorithm customization, where you want to actually go and call the costing element from the cost management, which is an enhancement, it's going to be future released. We don't know when it's going to be future released, but it's a much sought out of thing in the market now, or every client that I've come across in one way or another. That's a very useful thing where the perpetual average cost, you should go and get from the item perpetual average cost of that item from cost management and bring it into it, do a cost plus pricing model, and apply a sales order or a price segment price list on top of it. Today, we don't have that ability to do out of the box, so I have to create an API that calls an ICS service and goes and grabs that value and returns that. It's very advanced, but just like you guys, I learned it from the basics. Excuse me. There is a great course in Udemy, and it's called Groovy Language, Basics of Groovy Language. It's a 9-hour course. It's $9.99. I took that to get the basics of how things work in Groovy. So let's go. Before I go into price sales transaction, I want to create a simple algorithm for you. People like me who are from a technical background know what a hello world is. So let me go ahead and create a hello world first. Now a hello world is basically whenever you start programming a new language, that's the first thing that you would want to do or the issue. So that's what hello world is. So let me create a hello world and notice how this is going to be. I'm going to create hello world, and if I hit tab right now, it's going to throw an error, and I'll show you what that error is. Well, let me say, okay, there you go. So any algorithm should have custom. You should suffix it with the word custom. You cannot have an algorithm named, you can name the algorithm anything you want, like I just named here hello world, but you always have to have that word space custom next to it.
Got it.
And then now make it public. This is my first program, first algorithm. And then notice here, the algorithm has 4 major tabs. It's algorithm, variables, functions, and test. And people who are from the technical background in the PL/SQL world, you would have the functions. You can write the functions here to query the database or to do an API call, a SOAP call, REST call, and get values back from the database. So I'm just going to write a simple program here. I'm going to say a run script. These are conditional actions, meaning that this is a loop. It will go through each line. Conditional action is if then, nested action is for each, and then you have group, tree, split. I haven't had a chance to use tree or split. I had to merge, like you have 2 different values coming from 2 different systems, and then if you want to merge that, you would use that function. Sub algorithm, you would use that a lot because let's say I create this hello world custom program to grab a value, a line ID, or a DFF or EFF value where a cost is stored at the item level. I would use a sub algorithm to go and pick it up and then use it to calculate some other values. That's when I would use a sub algorithm. And we will also use this. So I'll show you when I come to price sales transaction. I'll go in more detail about sub algorithms. So for now, I'm going to create a hello world. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say run script. I'm going to say this is my first step. I'm going to call it, this is my first step. And then I'm going to say hello world. Now notice there's no double quotes. It's just single quotes. That's how you would return a string back. And I'm going to go and test it and see, hey, how's this going to test look like? So this is a cool capability, a feature in here where you don't have to have an IDE, meaning that when we used to do Java programming or C or C++, we had to have its own environment. We had to set variables up to run the tests. Here, you can just run the test on the fly. It's a cool capability that gets very helpful for troubleshooting because you don't have the log files like you would have from a DBA. You have to open an SR to get the log files to see what's happening in the algorithm. So this becomes easier to test your code before you release it or publish it to a higher version. So here's a test case. It automatically creates a test case. And then I would say run test. Okay, there's a null pointer exception. I'm going to create a variable. I forgot to create a variable. I'm going to say output string. It's a variable, and then I'm going to say input and output. I'm going to say no. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this test because this doesn't have the variable yet. I'm going to save it, incrementally saving it. That's a very important point, guys. Algorithms, keep saving it so you don't lose it. And sometimes when you've gone too far, you can't save it, then you have to recreate the entire algorithm again. So keep saving it incrementally. Now you would see the variable that we just created. Now, if I run the test, what will happen is I get the output string nana, okay? And then if I want to make a change and say, hey, I want to add this output string nana to hello world, then I would use plus symbol, which is the symbol for concatenating in Groovy, okay? So now if I test it, if I run test again, let me delete this test, and I will save it. Then I'm adding a new test, output string. Then I test output, there's nothing. Then if I run test, I'm still getting nana. I don't know why I'm not getting the algorithm, but what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to say hello world Nana. Okay, I'm probably missing something very simple over here.
You have to save it, I think, probably.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Balaji, I have one doubt. You told
Yes.
about the 5 algorithms which are used for the pricing and tailing. Now,
Yes.
if can we create a custom algorithm and then attach it to those 5, or how?
That's exactly. That's where I'm coming. So let's now say, so I created this algorithm. Let this algorithm, hello world custom. Let's grow in, go and get a value out of a column. Okay. How would I include this in the attach it to the base algorithm that is the heart of pricing, right? So here, if you see here, price sales transaction, this is the first thing
algorithm for pricing actually.
Right now, these are, you know, calculate sales order totals is where you want to control the precision number of digits. Let's say if you want 5 decimals, let's say you want the order to be defined in a way where once you click the order total, then you want to see the cost as well. Those are the things that you can do the sales order totals. Pricing sales strategy, that's basically getting, you can manipulate the system to go and get a different pricing strategy, even though you've created something in the pricing strategy assignments. Validate sales prices, it's just a validation. Calculate rolled up charge for priced orders. I have not used that function yet, just because I haven't had a chance to work on roll up based implementations. But once we have a configurator implementations and stuff like that, then we'll be using the calculate rolled up. So let's go back. Now, Nana just gave me a great leeway of how I would attach this, right? So let's go and see that. So I have saved this algorithm, guys. I'm going to save and close. Now, if I just say custom, I'm going to see the custom algorithm that I just created, hello world custom. The next step that you want to do is, after you test it, you think that it's working good. So now what I would do is I would go and publish it. Okay, there is a little, it acts a little finicky here. You have to query the algorithm one more time, and then you go and click here, and then you publish the algorithm. Okay, now you would notice you deactivation, delete, and all those things. This delete would be grayed out for price sales transaction for any algorithm that is 0 or 1. And yes, seeded, exactly. Now I publish it. What it means is it's published. And now, how would I add this? So let's say I want to add it to price sales transaction. I would query that. Now, you would notice that 2 is inactive, and you cannot, the way to add that is you have to create another version of it. Now, I'm going to delete this version after I play with this, because this will affect everybody who's using the system all over the world. So I'm not going to be using that. So let's say now 3 has been created, okay? No, I'm sorry. There you go. This one. Now, an algorithm has to be in the status of in progress to make any changes to it. It cannot be in the published state. It cannot be in the deactivated, inactive state. So we just created this algorithm, which version number is 3. We have the status as in progress. We are ready to go and add this algorithm and add our hello world algorithm to this one. So now let's say these are the various steps that gets that this algorithm does. It is not straightforward, but you can get an idea of what it's trying to do, right? Now, this is where your creativity comes into play, and you have to do a lot of back and forth in testing where you want to add what you just created, the hello world sample here. And if you see here, I can expand this, and there's multiple sub-algorithms being called inside this, okay? So it gets a little bit more technical, and these are the major categories in, I hope you can see this.
Yeah.
Okay, so get pricing strategy gets all these are all the sub-algorithms. And then the price sales transaction, that's the algorithm we are seeing. These are all the sub-algorithms that goes in acts. Now, if you go to derive price listing currency, there's more sub-algorithms underneath it. So you have to have a pretty good understanding of what each of these sub-algorithm does in order for you to add that. So let's go ahead, let's assume my last step, before I set all the final values, I want to add another, the step that we just created. So I would go here, add step, and I would say sub-algorithm. You see automatically it gets to 103, and I would say hello world. And then over here, I would pick up our hello world program, okay? See with the one we just created, there it is. And you would see the output string and the string, the values that we just created. You will save it. Well, Oracle is not letting me save it. That's a good thing because it messes up the whole system for everybody. But once you save it, right? Once you save it, you would come here back and then you would, let me requery it. I would publish this algorithm. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this now because I don't want everybody to be affected.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
So that, guys, is kind of a very high level thing. And Nara, do you want me to show a demo?
No, not necessary. We understood it now. Fine. See, algorithm, we have to create our version, and then afterwards it must be in progress, and then we can add our own algorithms into this based upon whatever you have shown now. Fine. On the pricing strategy and then the prices transaction, there are plenty of predefined algorithms are there. So we have to understand about each and every algorithm, what they do, and then attach ours into that place now. Fine. So we got the procedure. Yeah.
So another easier way to look at what the algorithms do is, say, for example, I can go here and say price sales transactions. To copy the entire source. So if I go here, view source, this is hard to read. Once I hit view source, it'll pop up with a box, and that's what this is. So here you can go and see, okay, this is what the processors are doing, and then in the price transaction, what happens next? It calls another algorithm called goods and services. Maybe not. Maybe calculate pricing. This is a sub-algorithm. It calls to calculate pricing. And then what I do is over here, sub-algorithm name calculate pricing charges. So now I want to go and see what that's doing. So here I go and see what that's doing, and that's how I kind of map all this together. So 5 algorithms are the major ones.
So this particular code, you will now cut and paste into yours, or you modify only those things, isn't it?
No, you can't cut and paste. Unfortunately, it won't recognize that way. So let's say I want to do something in between after returns happens, right? What I will do is I'll have to go in back here. So this is, see how it pops out. So you have to copy and paste it to understand it better. So if I want to say, let's say step process returns after this, I want to do this, I have to go and find that where it is over here, process returns, and then add a step after that. Notice how this add step is being grayed out. That's because it's a published version. You have to create a version, and then you will be able to see. Yes.
Got it. Get it. I got an idea about everything. Thanks, Balaji.
So,
full explanation. And then only thing is, people have got the method, but only thing is they have to study it and then do it a lot. No, fine.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have any standard ready-made workouts given by Oracle on this? No, fine. One example available, then it will be nice. Actually.
Yeah. There is. I'm trying to find out. I'll send you, Nana. There is a very good.
You can send it to me, and then I will now give it to my students on this thing. Any documentation on this pricing algorithms, if you have.
There is a white paper that I will send it to you. This is provided by Oracle, which goes step by step on how to create the algorithm.
Okay.
Actually give you the zip file, the actual algorithm by itself. And then you have to just import it, and I'll show you that one too. So if you, let's say Oracle gives you an algorithm and say, use this algorithm, and you open a ticket and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. How would I do it? Sometimes they would give you that algorithm. So you go and import the algorithm. It's usually a zip file, and you take that zip file out of your, say, for example, over here, I have got some algorithms here, and then I can use that and import it, and it will automatically be ready-made for you. You just have to go and attach it to the pricing sales transaction algorithm.
Oh God, that's good. That's great. So thanks, Balaji, for a wonderful session on this. Now, fine, you have given a highlight about how we can use the pricing algorithms in managed service mappings. And then he was saying that we have to be on a sandbox also to edit the service mappings actually. So since the system is not allowing, we are unable to do. So once when we have the documents with us, then it will be possible for us to understand this to a great extent.
Yeah, I'll try to find that document and send it over to you, Nana.
Okay.
And if anybody has, again, it's a demo instance. It's really hard to
very difficult to demo it actually. Anybody has got any questions for Balaji? He's a technical guy, and then he has now become a functional also, and so now he is a techno-functional. Then he knows much more than anybody here.
Hey, Balaji, can you please expand a little bit more on this? How does pricing matrix will work here?
Sure. So let's go and let's see pricing strategy assignments. Right.
But can you please, is it possible to map exactly your current project business requirement instead of telling the little bit high level, right? That will be really useful to others. Today it's possible in Oracle, which is not possible in Oracle. How we are mapping it, so that will.
Sure. So one of the requirements is to kick all the price lists are going to be maintained at the customer level. So we created an extensive flex field at the customer level, and we just created plain price list. So we go and create price list or discount list. You can create any of that. You don't create, let's say you just create a discount list. In this example, we created a price list. And the important point to notice here is once we create the price list, we assign that price list to items and the prices. The important point to note is I didn't assign it to any strategy. Once you assign it to a strategy, then the strategy will take over instead of the price list. So you never assigned that to a strategy. Instead, you would I created an algorithm that would go and grab the price list ID and then apply the price list on the items based on that whatever price that I've defined.
For example, I have a question. For example, you are keep on getting, for example, I have every 3 months, my price is getting changed, right? So how we are going to load that price if you're going each and every customer a different price list?
There is FBDI template for it, and then there's ADFDI template for it. That's where you have to be a little creative and take care of what the customer's maintenance is. Obviously, the maintenance is a headache in pricing. There's no way of getting around it. However you try to model it, the more the number of SKUs, the more the number of customers, and the more the number of permutation between them. That's something that, I mean, imagine you having a company, you have 1 million SKUs and 10 million customers, and each customer has a different pricing. And then you have a franchise model. You sell the same item for a lower cost to the franchise than to an end customer. Then you have a channel salesperson, channel company that sells your items. You have a different price for it. Then you have to have several different price lists for it, or you have to have several different strategies. It is known in the industry that pricing, you have pricing people, there's a pricing position in every company just to do this kind of job. And the maintenance is a pain in the neck. It is how it is.
Oh God, we got it. So
yeah, even I think,
if you have to change the prices every 3 months, he is saying there is a laborious process only. We cannot order.
Yeah, because
it is a laborious process.
The reason is right. I'm getting every 3 months or 6 months once the supply price stay from the suppliers. Based on the supply price, what I'm getting, I can keep some markup price, 10%, 15%, my markup margins, and I need to set my price list also accordingly.
Balaji, can we do a markup on all the prices of an item? Huh?
Yes. So I don't want a solution here, Subbu, but I know what the solution for your problem is. Instead of maintaining cost, you do a cost plus pricing model, okay? And attach it to your strategy, okay? Get the cost from the cost element, the landed cost from the cost element. I don't know if it's an average cost or there would be a markup there as well, because you need a servicing fee for once you receive the items, but maintain that in your cost management as a separate element. and then do a markup percent, cost plus pricing based on the cost, create a segment list, do a markup percent for each price list based on how many ever markup percent is, because you might have
methodology. I am going to show them because I might not yet shown them. I'm going to show the cost plus pricing as well as the markups and other things in my coming training. Actually.
Okay.
I will do it.
So once you do that, now you don't have to maintain in two different places. Every time.
But that is at the item level, not at the price list level actually. The cost plus pricing is at the item level.
Yeah, you create an algorithm to do an API call to get the cost cost management. So I'll show you quickly.
Subbu, you have a good requirement. You can even later on discuss with Balaji regarding how to achieve your requirement of price changes every 3 months, fine, up and down.
Yeah, I think.
So here, actually, I've got it in SOAP UI here. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to do a proof of concept. Here's the element. Here's inventory order, and I'm getting the item cost from the cost management. So you use this API and you create a ICS network, ICS integration point, and you call the endpoint, and it'll automatically go and hook to the cost element and bring it back. So you don't ever have to maintain the cost or any value. You just maintain the markup percent in the segment list. You never have to maintain any cost values in the price list. Every time the cost changes in the supplier, in the cost element, it'll automatically get picked.
But do we have any online integration of the Oracle costing along with the pricing?
No. I just opened a ticket. It just got a reply last week that they are going to release in future. We don't know when it's going to be released. But it's the idea has already been selected. It's vetted out and it's going to be there. We just don't know when.
Okay.
So how is the currently they are handling it?
Currently, it's customization through algorithm. You have to call a ICS service, show that really quick.
Through ICS and other custom algorithms through SOAP services, you can bring in the cost of the item into the sales. As of now, it doesn't have any direct integration with the costing. That's what he said.
So again, it's an extra cost for the client.
It is. Every time you have to send a payload through ICS, you have to. We are working on a design. I am kind of working with the technical team on a design. Or maybe I don't know. What we're trying to do is we are trying to use not ICS, but we are trying to call the SOAP within the Fusion itself without calling an external ICS endpoint and trying to grab that value. This is still a work in progress. We've got tickets open with Oracle. We're working on that, so it doesn't. The payloads don't cost money for every pricing, because if you have millions of lines every month, then 10 cents or 20 cents, will add up real quick. So we don't want to be in that situation. So we're trying to work around for that. So this is the integration point that actually calls and gets the values out of cost management and to serve your purpose, Tushar and Subbu.
Great, Balaji, fine. So if
Balaji, and one more basic thing. What is the suggested prerequisite? Means you can say the prerequisite skill set it is required for this, means technical skill set particularly.
It's a very hard question to answer, because this is a complete new technology. This is not OAF or ADF or OTBI or reports building. This is completely new. So somebody who has knowledge of OAF can understand it better, because it's a lot of view objects involved and data object types involved. They call it service data objects. And Groovy is something that you can pick up really fast.
What about Java?
No, not Java. Obviously web service. Obviously REST and SOAP web service calls.
Not means there is no need of Java.
No.
So SOAP calls are mostly written in JSON, as I saw.
Yes. And that's what Oracle reads to. You execute a SOAP call, and then it will return a JSON response, and you parse the JSON response and input those JSON values into the SDO, the data object, and then you use the data object to calculate other calculations in your pricing algorithm.
Thanks, Balaji, for your excellent session. And then it's an eye opener for everybody now. And
Okay.
Great, actually.
Thanks, Balaji.
All right, Dana. Hey, good luck, guys.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Balaji.
Balaji, what is the service you are calling in this integration?
Service related?
What is the service you are calling in the integration? ICS?
The service that I'm calling is the Vistal is, let me see if I can find the Vistal. Where is the Vistal?
And how far the seeded algorithm are useful means is client is means at least some 10, 20%, 30% it is useful or every time.
I would suggest to okay, this is a great question because here's the thing, guys, right? There are two models of approach doing a project management, right? One is the old approach EBS where we take the requirements, we go through the gap and go back to the client and say, okay, these are the gaps, you know, how do you want to proceed? These are the need of customization. The new age thing that companies, the big four are doing right now is they go and say, this is what Oracle can do for you, okay? Now you either change your business process or look, this is how much it's going to cost you to do these kind of customizations. So it depends on what the philosophy of your management, project management is. If it's old school model, going back to the gap and trying to solution that gap, obviously you need to know a lot about pricing. If it's a new age model, you can get by with saying, okay, this is what Oracle is going to do. Like, for example, I work for a client where they never heard price lists. And we had to explain them what a price list is. So they had to change their entire business structure, their pricing modules. It's a big company, almost $1 billion company. They had to change that way of doing the business. So once they came into priceless model, we were able to achieve its strategy and priceless.
Okay, basically it means that it is driven by Oracle.
Correct.
Okay, instead of a client, it is driven by Oracle.
Yes, I mean, all the SaaS models, that's kind of a blessing as well as a curse for consulting like us now that, you know, we can't bastardize the system, we can't customize customize it to the extent that we did EBS.
Balaji, Jaydev this side. I have one question. What is the difference between algorithm and strategy?
Okay, a strategy is you assign a strategy to, strategy is something that based on customer profile, low, medium, high sellable, high revenue potential. You can add multiple things that Nana probably is going to show you or already showed you on customer profiles.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah, he has shown. Yeah, he already
right?
shown that. Yeah.
A strategy is like a bucket. It's like, imagine like old school EBS qualifier. If you maintain this, if you meet this, then you will fall under this bucket, and everything this bucket, the properties of this bucket is what you're going to get, is what a strategy is. Algorithm is, okay, now I've got the strategy, but I don't care about the strategy. I'm going to go and do whatever I feel like doing. That's where the customizations are. And the algorithm, like the out of the box algorithm, strategy is not strategy ID. And then under that strategy, what are all the price lists? That's what the algorithm does. It will go to the strategy and then look into those tables and find out what are all the price lists, cost lists, currency lists, discount lists that are all attached. It will create charge elements. And I'll show you in this document. I believe this document has that. So here, this is what the strategy is got by saying that, okay, for this customer, I've got the strategy. These are all the price lists. So internally, what the algorithm does is for each price list, for each discount list, it creates its own charge component for each one of them. Okay. And then it calculates that. That's what an algorithm does.
Okay.
Means the micro level, what is my understanding, the micro level calculation here?
Yes.
What we can't achieve through strategy?
Yes. Well, algorithm gets kicked no matter what. Okay. The customization of algorithm is above and beyond what the out-of-the-box algorithm does. A strategy defines what the different components, what are the different segment components, ceiling component, flooring component, what are all those are. And then it's the algorithm that executes that whole thing to derive the price.
And one more question. How do you know whether sales order which is calling either the algorithm or strategy? How do we know that in the sales order? If you look at R12, you can run the pricing viewer option and you will know what are the discounts, what is that, whatever pricing does, you will see in that. But
yeah, you can see that in here too. You can see
okay.
it in here too. Let's say, I'm sure Nana has shown this, but if you create an order and you go and click the order line detail, it will show you where what has been applied. Nana, give me a good.
That I have already shown them.
Okay.
Line level, I have shown them about what are all the discounts which are. He's saying that which algorithm is applied or which strategy is applied. That way he's asking.
That's what.
There's that level of granularity is not. But you can do that. Creating a manual algorithm, a custom algorithm, you can do that too. It's already there. It's just for internal log. You can just make it to print it in the external.
Okay.
See, Jaydev, the strategy gets populated on the sales order as soon as you put the customer actually. Okay. Then afterwards, the routing takes place. The strategy, you can control the strategy with your custom algorithms and then attach it to the standard 5. There are 5 algorithms which are standard as far as pricing is concerned. One is for order total and then one is for price sales transaction and etc. Fine. Those 5, you only have to control by writing your own custom algorithm and then inserting them into this place actually. Once when you do it, the strategy will now pick up this algorithm and then execute your pricing activities as such.
Okay.
So that way it works.
Thank you, Balaji and Nana.
Good, Balaji. So I will now take control of the screen now.
All right, see you guys. Good luck. And Nana, you're in good hands, guys. Nana's awesome.
That is great, Balaji.
Yeah, thanks, Balaji.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Okay, bye. Bye. So that's Balaji, which was explaining about the pricing algorithms. Fine. So he's saying that there are 5 important ones as far as the algorithm is concerned. And then we also have to, create a, what's called sandbox, and then do the service mappings. And then it needs a lot of technical coding. And then he says that Java is not required, but some other what's called is not. He's saying that it's okay, very much possible.
Google script.
So whenever you have any such big requirements, you can write to him. He will be of a help to you, fine, because he has already done something on this. He was also jobless for a longer time, and then finally he got his job. And then
Seems like completely technical.
Yeah,
right?
It looks like it's very highly technical actually.
Yeah. So we are ready to give to technical people, not for us.
Okay, then fine. Share my screen and then continue.
It seems, Nana, that now jobless is very common in every second person is jobless now.
Yeah, exactly. That is the biggest problem everywhere. Now, of course, he is now on a job actually, but he has contacts also. He has a good amount of contacts in Oracle actually, and so he'll be of a great help to you whenever you have any issues or anything that come along. He can even discuss with him. He is now doing this pricing algorithm with one financial guy actually, and that guy is also from Tamil Nadu, and then both of them are jointly working on the pricing algorithms basically. They asked me, "Oh no, don't call me. I don't know this." So that way, they're working.
May I ask a question, Nana? I do not know whether I should ask her now or later.
You can ask now.
Yeah, in the project there is a problem. We have not set up the drop shipment in this project.
Okay.
But a sales order has been entered and also executed, completed, closed everything. Then we find that the ordering organization was BU1 and the fulfillment organization warehouse was from another BU. Nobody stopped the person to do that. Right. Everything is fine.
Supply chain will not stop you. If your shipping organization is from a different BU, it will not stop you. But financially,
we do not have financial orchestration setup done, but nobody stopped, man.
Yeah.
But at the time of costing, now costing engine is giving error that
Exactly.
this
Yes, this will happen. That's why what happens,
So
without consulting
Rama?
financials, do not do any supply chain transactions at all. Whenever you
now
start costing.
Oracle is
Shampoo.
not supportive. Oracle is saying this is not a
Indigo.
problem. This is the order management problem, and order management problem means the order is completed. You
So
go
they
to
are
the
refusing to support, huh?
Yeah.
Because you have made a mistake.
Not me, the customer,
Okay.
client. Made
Then
the
that case, what happens? The only way is what? Manual journal entries. So manual journals you have to pass, and then you have to adjust every.
And how the error will be deleted? We cannot delete the error.
Delete the error, of course. That will be remaining in the system only. The error will be
That
still.
will remain in the system, no?
Whenever, because when I was giving a support to Saudi, they know that if you make a mistake, come on, do it in do a journal.
Anna, sir, do you have any instance? Can you share me? I want to test small algorithm, and if it works, we can go.
He was trying to go for a what's called sandbox with the service mapping. It is not working. I don't have any. Fine. I will not try. If I find out any, I will not let you know. Fine. I have my customers one now. Fine. I will not give it to you. But again, please don't give it to anybody else.
No. Even whatever you are showing me, is that fine? I just take the.
See, these instances are not working now. Fine, that we already seen.
No. But he tried. Let me try.
I will give you my customer's instance, and then there you can try now. Fine. But
small
username and password only with you, because if it goes away, they will not shout like anything.
No. I will not share anyway. I just want to test and show that.
Want to test it, or I can give it to you. Fine.
So Srinivas will show us algorithm how it works.
Somebody is fixing me. Yes.
So Balaji told one more thing is what ICS you have to learn now. Fine. It's called what integration cloud service, isn't it? ICS. That's what he was also saying.
Yes.
Integration cloud service is a must for you to learn.
That is technical stuff.
Yeah, technical, purely technical.
Now, with my functional knowledge, whatever I have done, I'll let me try with this thing and show that. At least you will see some result actually.
Yes.
So Oracle is claiming that, and it is everything is drag and drop. So everybody should be able to do it.
It is not drag and drop at all, as far as
concept. There is concept.
No drag and drop. In the beginning, I was telling don't play these algorithms and all. It will screw entire instance. Don't do that.
So is there any other topic today, or we are done?
Yeah, we are going to go up to 8:45 now. Fine. Whatever I am completing, I will not do. So first, I will now go for this tired highest. Fine. The 79th one. You're able to see my screen now. Tired highest is the one which I'm going to begin now. Fine. So click on the order management, and then I go to the pricing administration, and then I will now begin the tired highest. Fine. Click on it. Go there. Go to the manage price list, and then here Vision is using the corporate one now. Right? Corp, and then entering now. Corporate segment prices is the one. So Vision uses this one. I will now click on the corporate segment prices, and then I'm going to give a tied highest price. So I'm in the item, and then I will now give a plus. Click on plus. So click on plus, and then I will now paste the item over here now. Go there. It's the whole thing. Go down, and I will now say the price of this now. Go down. Create charge. Click on the create charge. I'm now going to click on create charge. After having put it, what happens? I will now put a create charge. I'm going to click on it. I will now put a base price as what? Let us say 100. And then I will now allow the adjustment. And then I will now give this. On the right hand side, I go there, drop it down. I will now make what? Add tire adjustment. So on this one, right hand side, I will now click on add tire adjustment. We'll go up to 8:45 and then I will now call it. Tire basis is what? You go there. I will now say item quantity. Fine. The extended amount also is possible. That is again a very big one now. You refer my EBIS order management documentation. There I have written the extended amount. Fine. It is exactly same like that now. Fine. It will take a longer time for me to simulate here now. I have already simulated the extended amount and other things in my pricing. Fine. You please watch my EBIS the pricing. And then in the bucket price, I have now shown you the extended amount actually. I go for item quantity and go click on it. Aggregation method is what? Online now. Online. And then apply to highest trend. Apply to highest price. The application method is what? Per unit now. And then go there. Drop it down. I will know there are plenty of combinations are there. I will not put only discount amount here. And the remaining are all exactly says the lab access for you. I will not go for the discount amount. Now, fine with that. And then this is one thing which I am unable to understand now. Enforce adjustment calculation on each layer. Now, fine with that. So it's not asking you to enforce. Now, fine with that. It is preferable to enable it. That is what I was told now. So click on OK, by which it is not done. Fine, click on OK. So I now given on the right hand side. Fine, go there. Now we go down and then give the prices. Now, click on plus. So whenever the customer buys between 0 to 10, what happens? You will be getting a discount of what? I will now say $1. And then click on plus. There is an adjustment amount, is a discount amount. If you buy anything between 10 and 20, you will be getting a discount amount of what? $2. And then click on plus now. And then anything between 20 to infinity. Fine with that. If you leave it blank, it is also infinity. Click on it. And then I will now put $3. That's it. Fine. Given it. And so depending upon, let us say if he is buying 5, he will not get a $1 discount. If he buy 15, he will not get a $2 discount. If you get 25 or something like that, he will get $3 discount. So the highest will be applied. It is called the highest test. I will give a save. Save now. So please, whenever you are not speaking, you please mute it now.
No, can we also put a different price for each quantity different?
Yeah, we'll come to that. We will come to that. So give a save and close. Now give a save. So I will now right click at the duplicate and then I will now put the item on a sales order. On it. So go to the order management and then I go to the order management and then I'm going to put a price. This is the highest price basically. I can click on create order. Drop it down. Here's one business unit and then there. Computer services and rentals. I will now paste this item over here. Click on that. Now it is $100 each actually. And then you can now see this now. So go there. Now we got a 99 price because of $1 discount if it is less than this now. Click on add now. So $1 discount is there. So you'll now have this discount. Fine. If you go and then edit this, it will now show you the discount which has got applied upon this now. So go the list price is 99. If there's no discount at all, fine. So discount percentage is not there, fine, go there. It is now 99 as a list price actually. Unit price is now coming. You cancel now. If you go for 11 quantities or 12 quantities and then give a tab, you can now find the each price is now 98 actually. The each price is now come to 98 now. Fine, click on it. So it's 98 is the each price now. And if you go for let us say 25 or something like that now 234 and then give a tab now. If you give it is 97 actually. So depending upon the slab in which it falls upon, it now picks up the highest price actually. It picks up the highest price. Any doubts on this now? Fine. This completes the demo on highest tire height. Now we go for a very complex one that is called tires, all tires. Tired all tires. I will not take a copy of it now. I will not go to this place. I will not give a plus. Tired all tires. I'm going to make it. Paste it over here now. And then go there, click on create charge for this now. Tired all tires is the highest one. I'm going here. I'll now say the base price is 100 now. And then I will now allow adjustments also there. Fine, go there. I'll now put the rate. Now I will now go to the right hand side and then I will now make tired all tires. Add tired adjustment. So here I will now say what happens item quantity. Go there. It's online. And then applied higher test. Fine. This is a very complex one actually. Highest tire is very easy, whereas all tires is very complex actually. I'll now go on hide all tires. So application method is what? Per unit now. And then go down. So I will now say discount amount we had tested now. Fine with the discount percentage. I will now choose the discount percentage. Click on it. Let us now put a discount percentage. Fine, go there, click on it. I will know on the list price. I'm going to make it now. Fine with that. On the list price adjustment basis, and then this also you can put tick mark and then go there. So it is a discount percentage now. Click on OK now. Go down. And then let us now add this one. Tired prices we had to add it in the bottom. After having given on the right hand side, in this one, we have added the tired adjustment. Once when the tired adjustment is added, we only have to delete it. Fine, we cannot edit it at all. Fine, editing is not possible. Add tired adjustment is grayed out actually. Fine, once when it is done, you cannot do it. So we only have to delete and then make a fresh one actually. So click on plus now. Fine, go there, click on it. So it's a percentage discount. Fine, go there. 0 to 10. I will now say 10% discount. I will not give a plus now. So it is not an adjustment amount, it is a discount percentage. In the top, it is now written as adjustment amount. Here, the type is a discount percentage actually. 10 to 20. Fine. It is now 20% now. And then click on plus now. And then 20 to infinity. Fine, go there, it's 30%. Fine, infinity, no need to put anything at all. Fine, that itself is understood. Now I will tell you about how complex it is now. Fine, click on it. So we are going to see this now. Fine, click on it. I will now give a save and then close now. Save, that is sufficient. Now, before we see the price, I will now show you about how the alt as works now. In this place, how alt as works now. Go there. Where is the fusion OM training? Where is it here? Fusion OM training. So I will now go to the e-business documentation and then I go to the order management. Remember, the e-business documentation is available in freebies, I think, probably for you. Now you go there, you click on the day 2 now. Fine, here. We'll be having one pricing engine performance. Yeah, there is a pricing engine performance. A document is there on day 2 now. So double click on it now. So this is how the e-business pricing works now. But this is almost same now. Yeah. I will now come to the salary part. Let us say I am not talking about in the previous yesteryears. Fine, the yesteryears. Let us say the income tax is like this. When you draw a salary of 0 to 50K, there is no tax at all. Fine. Now, when you draw a salary between 50K to 60K, you have to pay a 10% tax. And then if your salary is between 10 to 60K to 1 lakh, you have to pay a 20% tax. Now tell me, in rupee terms, if you are drawing a salary of 60,000 rupees, how much of rupee of a tax I have to pay to the government? Anybody? If I am drawing 60,000 rupees salary in this example, anybody can tell me? 6,000 is wrong.
1,000.
1,000 is 100%. Who is this 1,000?
Abdul Hamid.
Huh?
Abdul Hamid.
Abdul Hamid from Madras. Fine, is very correct. Now, Abdul, you don't answer now. He has told 1,000 rupees is very correct now. I will now come to it. Now, if my salary is 1 lakh rupees, how much of tax I have to pay to the government? Apart from Abdul, anybody else can answer more? 1 lakh rupees salary, how much of tax I have to pay to the government?
2,000.
2,000 is wrong.
10,000.
10,000 is wrong.
18,000.
18,000 is wrong.
9,000.
Huh?
9,000.
Who is this 9,000? Who is this 9,000?
No, it will be 5,000.
Huh?
5,000.
5,000 is wrong. Somebody told me 9,000. Who is that guy?
9,000. This is Venkat.
Venkat, okay, fine. Venkat has told 9,000 is 100% correct now. I'll tell you about how this calculation is. This is applicable universally, globally for anything now, as far as all tiers is concerned. Now, the salary between 0 to 50 is no tax. And then 50 to 60 is what? 10% you have to pay. That means what? Whatever salary which falls between 50 and 60K, for the 10,000, you have to pay 10%. So you have to only pay 1,000 rupees. And then when the salary falls on the higher next slab, fine, 60K to 1 lakh. So this comes as 40,000. For a 40,000 rupees, you have to pay 20% tax. For this range, I'm telling you, for this range, you have to pay 20%. So that means what? For 40,000, 20% is what? 8,000. And so in the previous slab, you paid 1,000, and then in this slab, you pay 8,000. And so the total salary, the tax you have to pay is what? 9,000.
9,000.
Got it now? Any doubts on this now? So,
a simple thing.
It is not a simple thing. It is a very complex one. And then now we are going to see about how it's going to work. So, I will now take up this case now here. What happens? It's now 0 to 10. Fine. It is what? Price is what? Price is 100. Price is 100. Fine, 0 to 10. And then the discount is what? Discount is 10%. 10%. It's the 10%. For the second one, 10 to 20. Fine. Again, price is how much? Price is 100. And then discount is 20%. You will now see about how it's going to be calculated. So I will now take up a case where the quantity is going to be 5. If the quantity is going to be 5, what happens? You will now get a 10% discount. And so it's very simple. And then the price each is 100. It will be 90. And then it will now show you. And click on it. We'll now have a look at it. And go to the manage sales orders. I will now add this line now. And click on it. D01. I don't know the number. Is what? D0153. So D0153, let it put now. Find D0153 is the one. Click on it. I'm now going to add it now. So here, why the price is not coming? We have given it, now. We have saved it on this place, now. I can give a save now.
No, we given D012. Oh,
D0153 tied all ties.
Yeah, 153.
D0153 fired all ties. It's not coming. Come on, give a cancel. Okay, maybe it will be sensing on the new sales order, I think probably. The price you are given will be sensed only on the new sales order. Or sometimes you may even have to log out and log in. Remember. This place. And then computer services and rentals. D0153 and then give a tab now. Why it's not coming yet? The price is not coming. It's really great. Strange actually. And over there. So we have the price over here defined. The calculation basis is defined.
Anna, you saved the form, pricing form?
One second, save and close. I give a save actually, but now I'm now giving a save and close now. I will now do the repricing, go to the actions and then reprice the order. The price has to come now. It's not coming. And click on add and then reprice it now. Add the line. The price has to come. Go to the actions and go to reprice the order. Repricing it is not working at all. What is this? D0153 tied all ties is not working. Give a cancel and click on yes now. Or create segmental price list. I go there. And then anybody is fiddling around on this now, please don't do it now. Otherwise, I cannot work upon. I'm again and again telling you people, when I'm working, they barely fiddle around. So this is the biggest problem with people. Why you are doing parallelly, I don't understand. This is the thing which, you see, I have to first of all succeed to show you now. So I must be allowed. And if you don't allow me, how I can do it now? The start date is there. The tied prices is all there.
Check
now.
which price list is calling now. Someone has changed the price.
It's, oh, okay. The sales order, fine.
Yeah.
Go there. Yeah, click on create order now. Go there. If anybody has already changed it, then that will also be another problem. Somebody might have changed it, means what?
Huh?
Go there and then go to the actions and then go to the view pricing strategy and segment now. Fine. This is okay. Corporate segment group 1 and then corporate pricing segment strategy group 1. This is okay. I don't have any problem because this is only going to use the corporate segmental prices actually. Fine. So this combination nobody has fiddled around now. I'm going to click on it. I'll go there D0153 and then give a tab. I have to get that price now. It's not coming. I don't think I will now log out and log in. Sometimes log out and log in may also bring in now. Click on it. Log out and log in. Sign out and sign in. Click on confirm. Order management. Please again mute yourself now. I'm asking people to mute, but so much of a noise is coming from your side now. I'm not muting it. Whenever you don't speak, please mute. Now, fine. Have a good habit on this now. So click on create order. Drop it down. Here's one. D0153 and then give it a no data was retrieved. That's okay, but price is not come at all. I will now do one thing. So let me delete this price and then again get a new price now. Click on yes now. I will now go there and then delete the price now. Go to the order management and then go to the pricing administration. Let me delete the price now. Go there. Click on Corporate segmental price list is the one. So open it up and then query for my item. So D0153 is the one, and then click on search now. So select it and then delete it. Delete the price for this now. Give a save and close, and then again come out of it and then make a new one now. So let me make a new one now. Corporate segmental prices. I will not give a plus now. On the item level, I'm giving a plus. So D0153 is a one. Give a tab. So okay, click on create charge. Go down, and then I will price 100 now. And allow manual adjustments. So the date. So here now. Remember, whenever you make a change here, you cannot make a modification at all. And add price, add tag adjustments will not get grayed out now. So is there any mistake here? I don't know. Fine, go there. I will not put item quantity. I will go there. Online. I will say all tires. Application method is what per unit. And then adjustment type is what? I will say discount percentage now. I know the adjustment basis is list price now. Fine. I will not put the tick mark here. Now. Enforce adjustment calculation on each tire. Fine. Okay. I think this is not applicable for all tires. I think probably this may be a mistake. I think it's only for the highest tires it is applicable. All tires, I think this tick mark should not be there. I think this is what I remember. Fine. Something on this now. Fine. I'm forgetting it, but this may be a problem. I think that was the thing which is causing a problem. I think so. Go there. Click on plus now. And go there, click on it. I will now add for 0 to 10 now. And go there, click on 10% now. And click on plus now. So 10 to 20, it's 20%. Please wait for 10 more minutes. Will not let me complete this exercise and go because it's a very tough concept actually. So we have to understand it. Go there. So 30%, and then I go there. I give a save and close now. Right click on the duplicate, and then let me get a sales order. Go to the order management, and then click on create order. And then it's computer services and else. D0153, and then give it a tag. Still not coming. I don't know who has anybody has fiddled around on anything on the setups or the price list may not be there in this list now. Anyhow, I will now make a check of it and then I will now come back tomorrow. This because somebody might have even fiddled around on this now. When they ask people not to touch, fine, they purposely go there into mine and then they will now make all the modifications.
Now, one question. Similar to quantity-based discount, is there a period-based discount as well?
Period-based discount I have not seen here now.
I see.
Even in eBiz also, we don't have any period-based discounts. But we can do it on a modifier. On a modifier, we can very well make it as a period-based, but not on the
in a procurement side that in EBS, that we can give the period-based. Say, for example, January this month price and February this.
See, every entry can have a date range actually.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That way, here also is there.
It is there. Okay.
Can have a date range.
Sure.
So if you give a date range, then what happens is that particular discount will be applicable. Date range is okay.
Okay.
But not period. Fine, Jan period and then February period like that you cannot choose.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I remember that. In eBay also, we used to give the date range.
Date range can be very well given. So we'll now continue on this part tomorrow because there is some problem somewhere now. I will do one thing. I will now make a recording because of this particular higher, all tires, I will now make a record once when the thing is settled, streamlined actually. When the mistake has been streamlined, I will now upload it actually. And then we'll now continue tomorrow on this now. Any questions? Okay, then yeah, fine. Bye for now, and then we'll now meet tomorrow again.
Thank you, Nana. Thank you.
Thank you, Nana. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nana. Bye, Nana.
Thanks.